But let's talk about Smith for now. We've seen different kinds of Smith. I mean, there was, the policy wonk Smith before she entered politics at all. Then there was kind of the charming, populist, right-wing rural Smith you saw when she was Wild Rose leader. Then there was radio show Smith, real gadfly, controversial, likes to stir the pot, have a conversation. And then UCP leadership candidate Smith, who was populist crusader, pretty much dressed with a Viking helmet there to storm the gates. And then UCP premier and election Smith, which was trying to calm the waters and make sure everyone knows that she's not nuts. But on election night, she kind of rehinted about, remember guys, we're taking on Ottawa, we're doing this stuff. In an interview she's given since, she has even hinted pretty strongly that if Ottawa tries to cap emissions, that would be a de facto production cap on oil and gas in Alberta, should consider using the Sovereignty Act, the big nuke. And we didn't hear too much about that during the election. Corey, which Danielle Smith do you think is going to show up over the next few years?
I think she can only suppress the ideological Danielle Smith for so long. I'm not so worried about that, too, because I do believe a lot of her policies, if implemented properly, will show benefit if she brings them in. I mean, the healthcare savings account could be very interesting and beneficial. Some of the treatment-based things for addicts. I mean, if those start showing results, it's going to look good for her. Fighting against Ottawa is always a win, even if you lose the battle. Just got to wonder, my bigger concern is how well the manager, Danielle Smith, is of the caucus of the others, and having, worked with her to a degree with the Wild Rose when she was leading that, and I was in the executive. I would hope in her time out from politics, she's humbled a bit and realized that, again, if you lose the support below you, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could really, conservatives learn that all the time, you can lose it all. So I'd be watching much more closely with how her internal management's going on than her policy right now.
Dave, I'm going to put the same question to you. I think Danielle Smith has generally always been herself, but she'll lean into different aspects of herself. And one of the NDP was trying to shape the ballot question to be Danielle Smith can't be trusted. She's crazy. So obviously she leans strongly against that, kind of counterattacking it, trying to demonstrate she's reasonable and clear-headed. But do you think she's going to continue more in that personality of just like, don't really do much over 4 years, just try not to rock the boat and be kind of quiet? Or do you think she'll be kind of one of those genuinely transformative premiers that, you are likely to see an Alberta police force, an Alberta pension plan, an Alberta revenue agency, potential use of invocation of the Sovereignty Act?
I don't think it's in her nature to be quiet and just ride out 4 years. I think Jen Gerson said it best in her column this morning. She's either going to last 18 months or she's going to last 8 years. She's got a couple of big decisions ahead of her, including a cabinet. She needs to find a health minister, because that'll be probably her most important nomination. She needs to find a finance minister with the retirement of Travis Toews. But I think if she's the premier that she says she wants to be for all Albertans, and has listened to people and will listen to the people, I think you may see the provincial police force fall away, because I don't think the majority of Albertans want that. Our own tax agency, maybe, sure. And certainly the fight against Ottawa and Trudeau, definitely. And she said she's, girding for that fight already, as you said, Derek, in her acceptance speech. So it's all to be determined, but, hopefully we've got, her not going off the reservation by herself, but listening to everybody around her and surrounding herself with smart people, which I don't think the last premier probably did to his best abilities.